Hi, I'm Heidi,
And I'm Byron.
and we are sailing Schmitten.
After we made it across the Gulf of Mexico from Kemah, Texas to Pensacola, Florida, we anchored at Fort McRee State Park. We slept at least 11 hours that night. It was a calm anchorage. We called several marinas, but we could not find a slip available. We needed to do some repairs. We motored over to the downtown Pensacola City Marina to get some groceries. As we approached, a couple appeared out of nowhere to help us dock. And then a few moments later, a man came out of the office building to ask about our boat. We had a chat and told him we were looking for a marina slip. After a phone call, he had secured us a slip in one of the very marinas that had told us they had no available slips. He also gave us recommendations on a rigger and sailmaker for repairs. The angels were out and about for us this day, and we would see a lot more of them here in Pensacola, home of the Blue Angels. We were able to move Schmitten into the Palafox Marina that afternoon near the Palafox Pier. We joked that we were the single wide in a neighborhood of mansions, but very nice people here. We had sold our car back in Texas, so it was frustrating without any transportation. We didn't mind walking everywhere, but when you're trying to carry groceries back, that's a little frustrating. And taking a Lyft or an Uber everywhere gets quite expensive. We did get to visit McGuire's Irish Pub and search for the dollars that we had stapled to the walls long ago, but they were nowhere to be found.
Walking to the Publix grocery store because we have no other way to get there.
So we ordered some electric scooters. Byron spent a lot of time researching the best product for our situation.
Okay, so we bought two of these scooters, and the brand is New, N-I-U. And what were the main, you did a lot of the research about which one to buy, so
Yes.
What were the main things that you thought were good about these scooters?
These have a really good range, and they also have a good speed to them. So they'll do 22 miles an hour, and the range is, they say it's supposed to be 30 miles, but that's probably if you're driving conservatively, which I don't. So probably closer to about 15 miles before you have to charge.
Okay, but since I drive conservatively, mine would go
Yours
further.
may, yes.
So you just charge them, and
Yeah, 6 hours to charge them.
Yep. And they also fold up.
They fold. This is really nice for having it in the having them in the boat. We can fit two of these in a boat. Basically, you undo a lock at the top, you drop it down, and then it becomes a carry handle.
And then how much does it weigh again?
42 pounds each.
So kind of heavy, but it's doable. So we've been having a lot of fun with these.
So here in Pensacola, you can also see a baseball game if you want. They've got the minor league ball club, the Blue Wahoos. And at first I thought the Wahoo, they were referring to a crazy person, but apparently the Blue Wahoo is a fish. And they're pretty fierce.
It's amazing. You can even ride these scooters to get pizza. One repair that we needed to do was to restitch the UV cover of our foresail, the Genoa. So we needed to take it down first. We also suspected that there was some damage to the furling system itself. We found an opportunity where there would be 0 winds on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. I get a little worried about having some sail out in a marina slip if there is any wind at all. We struggled for about 30 minutes to get the sail down. We only got about 10% of it down, but then it just got stuck. Byron said, "It's time to get out the bosun's chair." It was time for one of us to go up the forestay and see what was going on. There was tension in the marina. It's about a 60-foot climb up. Byron was really the one to do this so he could examine the rigging and see what was going on. He got in the bosun's chair and secured himself to the spare halyard. I hand cranked him up the forestay. He was able to loosen the sail. He noticed that the 8-foot sections of the furling system attached to the forestay were coming apart and the set screws were backing out. Thank goodness the marina remained calm during this process. In the end, I decided to let Byron come down from the forestay. We got our Genoa sail down so that we could restitch the UV cover, but now we would need to call a rigger to get some set screws to remount our furling system. The next day we called Zern Rigging, that's Z-E-R-N, Zern, the rigger that was recommended to us, and they came out at noon the same day, which was amazing. They climbed the mast and first unjammed our mainsail that was stuck in the in-mast furling system. They inspected our forestay rigging and found that it had bird caged, meaning that the twisted wires of the cable were backed out due to the extreme pitching force we had experienced in the storm. This reduced the holding power of the forestay significantly, enough to create a risk of being dismasted. Zern could replace our forestay and repair our furling system as soon as parts came in, about 10 days. Here you can see the part of the forestay that connects to the mast near the top of the mast, and you can see the part of the forestay that where the wires had become untwisted. Just below the birdcage area you can see the top of our furling system that actually goes around the forestay. We wait for our forestay and furling system repair. We rented a VRBO so that we would have enough room to mend the UV cover on our Genoa sail. We hired an extra large lift ride to pick us up. We hauled our sail right sewing machine and supplies, overnight bags, and dirty laundry into the ride. I'm sure some people are curious about what we are doing or think us odd, but our situation is complicated. We figured it would take about 2 days in the VRBO to get all of the repairs to the sail done, and that's just about how long it took. We also got to binge watch our favorite Prime Video show called Patriot. I'm so glad my mom made me learn how to sew, but every time I finish a project, I'm so glad it's over. Another curious lift driver got us back to the marina with all of our things in tow. We found that Pensacola had so much to offer. The white sand beaches were a dream. The marine life and birds were abundant, and we witnessed clean, unpolluted water. They did it right at the Crawfish Festival. You can even get a margarita bigger than your head. The nightlife on Palafox was a lot of fun to watch.
So today is the day we are having our forestay replaced, and it was damaged in the storm that we were in off the coast of Louisiana. And normally it would be right here, a very thick cable holding up the mast. It's just not there. Instead, we have some halyards, some lines that are actually holding up the mast until the riggers come back from their lunch break to install a new forestay.
They're coming back, right? It is time to raise the flags of celebration for getting this important work done on our vessel. And we also celebrate some more angels of Pensacola who have graciously allowed us to use their vehicle while we are here. We were able to get some supplies and groceries and have a few beach days because of this.
Take me to the beach.
Our boat is 18 years old and the ball valves of our marine toilets needed to be replaced. The company doing the work recommends a haul out to do this, just in case the work disturbs the through holes. We would want to avoid water coming in, obviously. The haul out would be at the shipyard called Pelican's Perch in Bayou Chico. We would need to go under the Bayou Chico Bridge, which we had received conflicting information about how tall it is. Finally, we were able to confirm on Navionics and through our riggers that the bridge is 65 feet at high tide. We need 64 feet clearance for our mast. This would be interesting. We plan to go at low tide just to make sure. There was also a cable running overhead in the bayou just before the bridge. Navionics noted that this cable was at 100 feet. However, as we approached, I was sure visually that we would hit it. As one looks up to the sky, there was no perception of distance. And as a whole restaurant full of people looked on, we made a 180 in the channel of the bayou. Byron had told me, if it looks like we are going to hit, tell me and I'll turn around. We went back out to the bay and then reconfirmed the information on the cable and the bridge. We decided that we just needed to trust the information and ignore the optical illusion that we were seeing. On second approach, we made it under the cable. We also did just fine under the bridge. But wow! So much of our experience is what we see, but not in this case. Here, it's easy to be deceived by what is seen instead of trusting in what we know to be true. Here we are at Pelican's Perch, and we got pulled out. Everything went very smoothly. We're getting some work done on our plumbing system. This is one of the holes in the boat, and we're actually having the through hole replaced in this area so that the marine toilets will work correctly. Smitty himself, the captain. That's me, the admiral. Our time in Pensacola is drawing to a close. We plan to sail around Northwest Florida for a while, exploring some new areas. Because of the repairs we have needed, we won't make it to the Bahamas this year before hurricane season, but we'll make the best of our time here before finding a place to land during hurricane season. The people of Pensacola truly warmed our hearts with hospitality. The kindness of strangers and the community spirit that we experienced here was such that we will leave with a stronger belief in the good of humanity. We couldn't leave without supporting some of the angels here in their Feed the Homeless program. In the future, in each place we visit, we plan to contribute to the community outreach in some way.